We had a really good scrimmage. Maybe I'm gonna guess somewhere around 105 to 115 plays. I would guess. Hey, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Some things that were good. Dom coming back. Dom had a nice long run, maybe 50 yards or so, and him coming back was really nice to see. We tackled live everything, special teams, everything. I thought our D line really played well. Really played well. I don't know that we got a first down the first two series with the ones versus twos and twos versus ones. Offense won most all of, not all, but most all the situational football, whether it be second 10, play third, or third and 6, play fourth, red area, low red area. Offense came back and looked really good in that time. Obviously, concerning part of the scrimmage is penalties, and this is the first time we had an SEC crew out there. And, there's some pass interference and things like that are going to happen at times, but the pre-snap penalties, we had some, and most of it was with the younger guys, but we had some pre-snap penalties with the offensive line and things of that nature. Several secondary penalties of holding that we've got to get. We made mistakes as coaches. We had 12 on the field coming out of a huddle a couple times, and so all those things we've got to get better at. But that's why you scrimmage, and we will. But overall, I thought it was really good. We did have a couple guys that got banged up out there with Sam Pittman and Nathan Bax. At this time, I don't know the full extent of either one of their injuries, but they did get injured and weren't able to come back to the scrimmage. So with that, I'll answer whatever you guys got.
Could you tell us maybe specifically pass game, what you liked, what you liked out of the
Well,
ones, and then
our protection's got to get better. I mean, we got to give him more time. Devin Manuel was not. He didn't play today. He's out for maybe another, 2 to 3, 4 days, something like that. But our pass protection, it wasn't obviously. Chambly stepped in, did a nice job, but they got some pretty good pass rushers over there, and we've got to get better there. Tesla certainly stood out. He catches everything, and really good player. But other than that, without watching the tape, I don't know. There were some threes. Tyrus Washington made several catches today, and Kyle will have to give you some stats. I can't really recall a lot of guys making several catches other than that. But the passing game, I think it was really we didn't protect very good as well as we need to.
You talked up the D front, so who did you see flashing from among that group?
Well, there's a lot of them. Seven's he's hard to block. I tell you, guy flash was Torian Carter. He was back here quite a little bit today, and Eric and well, a bunch of them. 46. They played hard. They played well today, and Deke basically had a 4-man rotation going on, and he's got 4. He really got 9. With Nico. Nico had a good scrimmage too. He got 9 guys that can go over there, and I'm talking about 8 today because we held Tank. We held Book out today. Nothing big. I think he'll be ready to go by Monday, but we held him today.
Coach, what do you think of your linebackers out there today?
Yeah, I thought Jaheim Thomas made a lot of plays. Crook, Pooh got an ankle, so he didn't play today. But I thought those two. Obviously, Greer made some plays. I tell you who shined a little bit today that is coming on is Sanford. Sanford made several plays today, and obviously Spence. But I think they played pretty good. I thought the defense as a whole played well. The problem is we got too many penalties in the secondary. We were giving the offense defensively. We were just giving them first downs, and that had to been maybe 4 or 5 different penalties. Now you look at that, and the world's not freaking coming to an end, guys. You're talking about the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s. I'm not talking about just the 1s and all the guys that's going to play every snap, but we had too many penalties back there. We got to clean that up.
Pooh's ankle injury, is that anything concerning? Pooh Paul.
Oh no, he matter of fact, he's got a slight MCL is what he's got, but he probably, if we was playing a game, he'd be playing today, but we weren't. So
in a way, is it good to have these penalties, and so you can talk about them at least?
I talked to him, Trey, after practice, because I don't know, 2 years ago we had, remember we had a lot of penalties our first game, and then it kind of started going down and all that kind of stuff. I think it actually, with the scrimmaging and the tackling and all that kind of stuff comes, you see more. We live tackled punt and punt return and kickoff today. I've never done that since I've been here. But I don't know how you tell who's going to be your best guy. It's scary because you don't want injuries, but you got to find a guy. 16, he can, those guys, they can return punts and kickoffs, and they looked really good today. But yes, I think it is a good thing because I told the guys, I said, call it as close as you possibly would in a game. We need this. We need to be able to show penalties and just have a reel of them and say why and teach them, things of that nature. Yes, obviously I was disappointed that we had the pre-snap ones. The ones on the secondary, that's just simply, to me, coaching and teaching that we can correct. The other thing is mental, and we ought to be better than that. We got to do a better job coaching too, on the pre-snap things too. We've got to be better there too.
Snacks, I assume, continuing to work at nickel or at hog. With the corner spot opposite McLaughlin, how are things shaking out there?
Well, Nudie had a good day. Jaheim had a good day. 25, had a good day, and Braxton. Those are probably our 4 right now. Moving snacks, those are probably our 4 guys. And really, what I wanted to see today is I wanted to see about 40 to 50 reps of the guys playing their position. Now, we could have maybe moved some different guys here, like on the old line. We got to figure out if Andrew Chambly's, right now the second team left tackle. And I can't answer that until, I look at it. Are we going to move somebody over there for him? I thought he played pretty good. But today was about finding them corners to see if we could leave snacks at Hog, to be perfectly honest with you. And at least for a long time in the scrimmage, I think, we found them because there wasn't really a whole lot happening offensively. That's including run and pass. Third down was a little bit different story. We got some big physical receivers, that can shove around and move around some guys as well. And Tesla and Armstrong are that way, and Broden's a big, tall guy. So they had a little bit more success on third down at that point. But, I think it is probably a good thing.
I was going to ask you about Singletary and Walcott in the secondary. You kind of answered Singletary, but how did Walcott look out there today?
He looked good to me. Now, he was a little banged up going into it, but down in the red area, that his job was to fill the A gap. I promise you, he did. He was sitting back there, and they opened it up. It was really the B gap, but they opened it up, and here he came. It's hard to be a transfer kid and come in and earn the respect of the team like he has. Now, we've got some other guys done that too, but he's got a special personality, but he'll rock you now, and he showed it today.
Pretty much settled in at safety because with Snacks maybe moving to Hog, because you talked about you might have to play both. He told me the other day he played defensive end if you put him there, but he's going to play safety probably for you.
Well, again, just as I didn't want to play anybody today 2 positions. So when they came to me and they started talking about how we're going to play the players, because you have to figure that out before you ever go out there, because you have to give them it's opportunity. You have to give them the opportunity at a position to win the position. And at first it was, him going to hog and then playing some corner. And I said, oh, no. We got to figure out if he's the hog. And J. Lou made a nice interception today too, but we got to find that out. So I don't really know what I think about that yet because I haven't watched the tape, but I'm assuming Snacks had a good day at the hog, and that's the only place he played. And we know he can play corner eventually down the road if we need him.
Josh Street, pretty good mood the last couple of days.
Yeah, Street's valuable, because he can play center, he can play guard. Play guard today. We're trying to see what Mario Wiggins can do. But, he starts on special teams. Just really valuable guy. And I know y'all know I put him on scholarship, but he earned that. And I don't announce it because, there's other kids on our team that would like to have one too. And, I really don't need no more videos of me, giving out a scholarship to a kid. So I can get some likes and some retweets. I really ain't into that. So I just called him and gave him a scholarship.
Coach, you mentioned Dominique Johnson with the.
What'd he say?
Twitter is now called reposting instead of retweeting.
Nah, that's why I'm not on it very often, but thank you. Yeah, I still don't know what he said, but I get it. Thank you.
You mentioned Dom with the big run and as a bright spot. Can you talk a little bit about the rest of the run game on both sides of the ball?
Our Dub, man, special player, and he made some special runs today. Some there was something there, and some there wasn't, and he made something out of nothing. I mean, it's hard to tackle, Obviously, Rocket, I don't know what he had. 50 yards rushing or something like that, somewhere in there. But Rocket had a good day too. But Dom stood out, and R-Dub stood out. Rocket had a good day. It's just, that's what we expect out of him. But.
You said you did the special team stuff. How did Max Fletcher look
We
punting?
punted the heck out of the ball. We had one with the twos. We had one bad punt all day, and the rest of them they were booming that thing. And again, we make all our field goals except for one. The first one, what was it? Ford. Ford misses his first field goal, and then after that we went either 8 for 1 or 9 for 1. I can't remember if we kicked 9 or 10. I know we kicked at least 9, and none of them were really short. And Ford made his. Cam missed his first one. We had a little bit of bobble on the hold. But at the end of the scrimmage, we put 13 seconds, one timeout. We were on the 46-yard line, and we got up to the 40. Called timeout, and Cam came in there and busted a 58-yarder. It could have went 68. He knocked the heck out of that ball.
Yeah, I think I saw on you all posted on video that he had a 60-yarder this week. Do you just feel like
I
he's?
didn't post it, but
Yes, well, I said y'all.
somebody-
Me and the football
so,
program.
that's like Reeve, whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
But,
But I mean, do you feel like he's showing a lot of good strength in camp in terms of
I
range?
can't believe the guy's leg. He's just a little bitty fella, but man, he can kick it. But I'll tell you what, he's fast too. So maybe we have a fake with him. But he's fast and he's powerful, and he's kicking good. He's hitting them, and he got a leg, and he's earned the kickoff spot too, So.
This really started before you came back, but the defensive line coach job has been a little bit of a revolving door. Deeks, first time in a long time, you got a guy going in for second year. How important do you think that is? Torian was saying maybe it was yesterday, that was important to have his position coach back. And just what do you think about how Deeks doing?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for that. But if the position coach can't change his room, and he's still back, then he's still got a room that he ain't changed. You know what I mean? And they can like him all they want, but if we ain't changing that room, then it's hard to like a guy because he's probably not going to be there. So Deke went in and he changed that room, and more importantly, like Torian and Landon and those guys that are back, Eric Gregory, he knows how to blend the new guys with the old guys. Deke handles problems in the room. He can recruit to his room, but he's just a really good coach, really good dude, really good recruiter.
Sometimes, but I don't think anybody's talked about the quarterbacks. So,
yeah, I think you're right. Didn't Malachi have a long touchdown throw? Who was that to? Daz? Daz fast now. I mean, he sparked a little bit here over the last few days, but KJ played well. Like I say, I don't know that we had a whole lot of time early, but when he got time, he threw the ball accurate and did a nice job. He had a touchdown down the red area. I called back because they tagged him. He got all mad at me, said that ain't gonna, they ain't tackling me on that. And he's probably right, and I was wrong. But we went ahead and went 3rd and 3 anyway. But he ran the offense well. He's a veteran. I tell you. You didn't ask about Friday, but Friday he threw the ball as well as I'd ever seen him throw. I mean, just crazy accuracy. And he did, when he had time to throw today, he did one heck of a job. And then Jacoby had some sparks. I think Jacoby's going to be a guy that you'll see being a much better player when you have to tackle him. He can run over 21 miles an hour but he's got an incredible arm and was very accurate as well. And then Fortin came in. He was the third that came in. And maybe statistically, Fortin might have had as good a day as any of them did. And then Malachi had a big throw to Daz and another one, too, down on the sideline. I can't remember. There's another one to Daz. Both of them were to him. But I thought they ran the offense well. I thought they were in control of it. And I thought they were accurate and smart with their – I think we had one interception, is that correct? And that was after I blew it dead because I thought we had a sack there. But Jay Will did have that nice interception.
Sam, you've mentioned Tyrus Washington a couple times this week, the guy that's making plays and catches.
Mm-hmm.
And how is he coming on, and how much can he help you?
He's gonna help us. I mean, he's I think we got a pretty good tight end room. I think when you look at Francis and Luke and Gums and Tyrus and backs, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to get into 12 personnel. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to get on the field. But Tyrus has made some hard catches. He's getting better at his blocking. Got a great attitude and playing hard. But the thing that I'm noticing more is he's getting open and catching contested passes.
Going back to Dubinion, what's his ceiling, and where have you maybe seen him grow most?
Right now he's in shape, so he's faster, more confident. I think him getting the offensive player of the game and the Liberty Bowl helped his confidence as well. I don't think he or us see him as a 3 or I think we just see him as when he's in the game, there's some good things going to happen. But I think the most he's grown is just in his confidence and knowledge of the game of football and the expectations of what SEC football is all about. And he's done a really good job with that. He's a good player now. He's a really good player.
You said something a couple of days ago about Bo Limmer playing at a really high level.
Yeah.
Can you kind of discuss that move that he's made to center and what he's done so well?
That's hard. A lot of times when I was the O-line coach, a lot of times to get a kid on the field faster, you put him at guard because he doesn't have to make all the calls. They touch the ball as much as the quarterback does every play, and responsible for that snap. The other thing you got to look at is the guy's this far off of you versus probably a yard, and because the guards can get back off the ball. So much more difficult place to play center than it is to guard. So I think his transition from playing guard, understanding the offense, understanding technique, and then going to center, a lot of people can't do it. But he certainly has. I think part of it is he wants to. I think he thinks that'll help the team and help him in the NFL draft, which both of those things are true. But for him to go, a year ago into Liberty Bowl with no reps at center and not have a bad snap, and Lord knows he played a lot of snaps in that game, tells you a lot about his maturity and just his athletic ability. I think, I've coached, I don't know how many, maybe 6, 7, 8, I don't know, centers that's been drafted, and he's right up there with any of them.
The extent of Mbake and backs. Are you able to say, was it upper body, lower body? Any details on that?
I don't know. I'm going to comment whenever I find out about it. Thank you.
Coach, where were the coordinators today? And was it experimental, or
No,
where
they's
go?
both up. They's both up. We was trying to. We had the whole, the whole graphic of how many, headsets we had, and we had them placed on. And that's another thing too. That's kind of a dry run of is this really what we want on a Saturday? But we ran it just as if we were playing Western Carolina.
And with Dominic, did he get as much run as the other backs, and did he have the brace on? And how long is that brace going to be on? Is there a target date?
I don't know about the brace. Did he? He had the brace on, and I'd say I don't really know Trey, but I'm gonna guess he ran it 8 plays, 8, 10 times a day. He got a pretty good workout. Had another nice run too. Actually, the officials whistled him dead when he put his hand down. I don't think he was. I think he would have been off to the races on another one too. But no, I think we going in. The distribution was about eight carries for those 4 guys, and I'm sure we got it probably for all of them.
And is there a target date for that brace?
Brace? No, I don't. I think, to be honest with you, I think he can take it off if he wants to. I don't know if he wants to or not. And on that long run, I don't know that it really mattered.
Yeah, what are your focal points for next week leading up to the next scrimmage, would you say?
Yeah, I still think we have a lot of battles, and so we still have to watch that. I think probably by Tuesday, probably Wednesday at the latest, our install will be done. It needs to be. I mean, we got to figure out what we can run both sides of the ball to beat Western Carolina and run well, and that we know it. So next week will be a lot about nothing about Western Carolina. It'll be all about really evaluating ourselves. Like Utah, I don't know who asked me, you might have, about the corners. We got to figure out who they are. Can we leave Snacks there? Are we okay here? And we've still got another week to do that. You can beat somebody out during the season, but it's hard. During the season, so we're still evaluating all that. During the season, you very rarely beat a guy out. He loses his job. You know what I mean? And in pre-camp, you can still beat a man out. And so we're going to scrimmage again next week, and then after that, probably go another time, probably another 3 days, and then we'll start working on Western Carolina. But this week right here is about cleaning up this scrimmage, cleaning up mistakes that we had, finding out our best 11, and then more importantly, probably even after that, is finding out our best 15 on both sides of the ball. And I think we're closer than I think we're pretty close of what we're doing, but hopefully somebody on this film that's younger that we weren't thinking about kind of shows out and go, hey, let's give him rep. Let's move him up a little bit, see if he can play with the 2, see if he can ready for SEC ball or not.
You told us the other day you like this team.
I do.
Do you like this team like we're ahead of where we were last year?
I like this team because they like each other. I mean, I like this team a lot. It's never had a team practice this well together. And they like each other. Now, there's flare-ups, people get heated and all that kind of stuff. But I think like and respect, this team respects each other. The day I told them, hey, this ain't offense versus defense. This let's go compete. You got a job to do. Go do your job. And I thought we did that the best. But yes, I really do like this team. I like the looks of the team. And, you know, we went down there and ran sprints at the end of the scrimmage, and there wasn't no heads down, this, that, and other. They do what we ask them to do because they believe that everything we do is for them and for their success, and that's what we're trying to do.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.